welcome, 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 welcome. Yeah, we back to the playthrough, guys. It is another one where we're having fun in the sun, even though it's nighttime. And we're finishing up the Druid quest. This is 628. Okay. Having a boss fight here at the Kuramiya Hole, because we just got alerted that Ashashi, our Yin clan representative, was there causing a ruckus, an explosion, if you will, an explosion of Druido power. So we got to go save him. And so the grandma lady already went there. She's on her way to do her thing, which is, of course, the violence, the ultra violence, and we have to save her the right way. We found the fact that the Yin and the Yang clan back in the day were close friends in the last episode. And we found out why they had a falling out. You know, it's obviously, as it always is, guys, a misunderstanding and a non-seeing of eye-to-eye-ness, spiritual differences. And so now the clans are rivaling. And we see here we have the demon from the Yang clan possessing the Yin clan leader. So Sayo's gonna use her magic, try to expel the demon by killing her, just murdering her, murking her off rip. But demons are powerful. Demons are indeed powerful. So we're gonna have to fight her. We're gonna have to fight her. That did not work. It only made them angrier. So thank you, Sayo. Thank you, Sayo. We could have had this a little bit easier, but you had to make the angry skeleton demon angry. And so, give the game some slack. I know it's not the coolest animation for transformation. They get a lot cooler as the versions go on, but this is still like a version 3 to 4 quest, so you gotta cut them a little bit of slack. Also, this is a very, very cool boss. It essentially has 2 forms, and it's not necessarily easy. Like I mentioned last time, you get Yoi to help you with a lot of these fights. So if you are playing as a druid, you're not going to be able to use your druid summons, because he's going to druid summon. And so if he druid summons and you druid summon, then there's only going to be one summon out. And I would prefer his summon to be out. It's level 120. Yours is not going to be level 120 at this point. It's actually impossible for that to be the case. So I would say if you want to, you can skip out on a healer, because the healer for this one's going to be pretty dang good. Which I did. As far as my main party, I have the Demon Master, Demon Swordsman, and the Guardian, which is basically the big attacker and the big defender. And even still, guys, this does take quite a bit. So I would say make sure you have a very good team. Of course, I have a very weak main character right now, but I feel like that wouldn't matter. Just because we have such a high level demon swordsman, they could probably like solo this with like a slime, honestly. But this is where the bosses indeed do get a little bit dicier for vocation quest and many things like that. So watch yourself indeed. Today we're talking about comfort and weakness, and finding comfort in your weakness of comfort. Of weakness. In your comfort. Of your weakness. Because if you realize, the more comfortable we are, the weaker we feel. The more comfortable we are, the more vulnerable we become. The more comfortable we are, you know, the less we try to grow. And that makes us weak. That makes us not necessarily all we could be. You know, it makes us feel like we're a little bit less than we could become. But there is comfort in that. There's comfort in weakness. So it's sort of like a cycle. And I'm not here, Joe, to preach and preach upon you and tell you, you gotta break that cycle. You can't be comfortable. You can't, you know, be complacent with your life or your soul or where you're going. You can. You can. It's perfectly possible to. It's perfectly reasonable to be, in my opinion. But I think the important distinction is to choose. You know, if you want to be a weak person, then you can't, you know, put on the headdress of the strong. And here's the second form. It is essentially the demon from the thing. I think it looks pretty cool. But the second form is a little bit more deadly, if you will, with the spells. They do a little bit more crazy things. Of course, they're not really doing much right now, so I'm sort of eating my words right. But they, I believe they do, what was that, Demon Wave? Yeah, there you go, the electric spell thing, and paralyze everyone. But if you don't let them do much, then they won't do much. You see, you can burst them down with stun, as we did there. All right. But yes, there is a comfort in that. A comfort in your weakness. And you got to recognize, like, is this comfort for me? You know, and the distinction between choosing is really what makes you strong. Even if it's a weakness, you chose your weakness instead of having your weakness choose you. Instead of being beaten down by it constantly, you decided that my weakness does not define me. That I am my own creature, my own character, my own creature creator. And I think that's a really wise decision to come upon. It's very noble. It's very spiritual to think about life this way. That you know, if we just decide. I know it sounds so stupid. It sounds anime, right? I assure you, the life really works like this. I assure you. Like, Nin is real from Hunter x Hunter. Conditions are real. And the stronger your convictions are, the stronger you can be, not just with yourself, but with your brothers, with your friends, with your team. It's all about convictions. It's all about, you know, leading the path forward. It's all about taking charge of what you have in front of you. And truly being like the pinnacle for love and sacrifice. And deciding, hey, is this the love that I want to give? Is this the sacrifice that I want to give? Because everything is a sacrifice. We were sacrificed from the Lord in heaven to be placed upon this world. You know, our consciousnesses were sacrificed. Essentially, I believe it is a Xenoblade Chronicles realm. You know, we were all put in these pods. We didn't get a choice. You know, we didn't have a choice to fight constantly. I wonder if you guys can hear that. There's some heavy thunder going on the outside right now. It's a stormy and windy night, if you will. But these choices that we make, you have to realize that everything comes with a price. Everything comes with a sacrifice. Everything comes with energy that is being given and received. So when you think about it that way, there is no weakness at the beginning. There is comfort, and then there is weakness that turns back into comfort. So it's just comfort to comfort. It's just comfortability to comfortability. As long as you stay, of course, I love preaching this every freaking day. As long as you stay in the moment. As long as you stay within yourself, as you stay within the spirit of brevity, of breathing in air and breathing out love. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing too much more complicated about it. And the beautiful thing that you can think to bring it back to, as far as this, you know, as far as a good takeaway for what we have going on here, is to just move. To just constantly move. Even if you're comfortable, even if you're uncomfortable, just move and be okay with that movement, wherever it takes you. Because if you keep moving, you'll skip past your weakness and go back to your comfort, because the weakness is what brings you comfort. And if you just move into that with authentic love, breathing it in, breathing it out, there's no need to worry. You know, there's no need to worry for judgment, for fear, for anxiety. Just movement, man. That's where you find your true comfort. Because like I said, it's a cycle. It's comfort, which brings us to weakness, which brings us back to comfort. So if you just keep going along that cycle, you realize, guys, there's more comfort spots in the cycle than there are weakness spots. You know? It's not bad. It's just painful. It's just sacrifice. And if you're like me, you like the human experience. You like the pain. You like the sacrifice. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what I'm a fan of. You should be a fan of what you're a fan of, without apologies, without taking back what you think nobody wants to hear or nobody can handle. Everyone can handle you, and if they can't handle you, they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave. And that's why I love you. You haven't left. So please, do what you need to do. I'm not begging you to stay here, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're witnessing this. This is the growth of a nation. This is the sensation sweeping your PlayStation. We completed quest 626. I believe that's what that said. And now our druid can soar to higher heights. So next time, join me on the druid quest, where we'll get an even stronger druid companion and get our spirits to level 120. Thank you so much for joining me this time, guys. Remember, your comfort cycle will only move if you do. So take a step back, learn those issues that you have, maybe get therapy, maybe talk to somebody, maybe get the creative juices out, and keep moving forward. We love you. We appreciate you. Subscribe if you want to. Like the video so other people can see it and I can freak out your friends. I love you guys. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.